Hey, what is going on, guys? In this video today, we're going to be going over the 5 biggest problems with console Fortnite. Now, the problems I discuss in this video today are, for the most part, exclusive to Xbox and PS4. So although we all hate things like overpowered explosives, buildings being too weak, and shotguns desperately needing a buff, those problems are more or less the same on every platform of Fortnite and will not be discussed in this video. I believe that most of these problems are fairly easy fixes that would make console Fortnite a lot more competitive and enjoyable as a whole, and although Epic has in the past hinted at some of these problems being fixed, it has been multiple months since we've received any kind of update, so honestly I'm starting to lose some hope. So without further ado, let's get right into the list. Alright guys, so the first thing that we're going to be discussing, which is a major issue with console Fortnite, is the fact that Xbox and PS4 does not have a building sensitivity option. If you play Fortnite on console, you basically have 3 different sensitivities. You have ADS sensitivity, non-ADS sensitivity in the form of the X and the Y sensitivity, and finally scope sensitivity. And although that covers all different possibilities of weapon engagements and gun skill, it does not cover the speed of building, and unfortunately that is tacked right along with your non-ADS X and Y sensitivity. Now you may be saying, well, hold on, that problem isn't exclusive to console. PC Fortnite also doesn't have a building sensitivity option. And although that is correct, PC certainly doesn't have a building sensitivity option, the fact of the matter is they don't need a building sensitivity option. PC players basically have the luxury of playing on a low, medium, and high sensitivity all at once, depending on what a certain situation calls for in-game. And it's all thanks to the way that a computer mouse works. Let's say a PC player is in a close-range shotgun fight where accuracy is the most important factor. That player will simply move his mouse in a slow and precise fashion, which keeps the in-game sensitivity really low. But at the same time, if a different fight requires a high sensitivity flick shot or super fast building, the player will move his mouse a lot faster to create a very high in-game sensitivity. That is why PC Fortnite will never need a building sensitivity option, but since console Fortnite is played with a controller, then what I just discussed is not an option for all of us console players. And that is why building sensitivity is an absolute must for the progression of console Fortnite. Because on console, unlike on PC, you're forced to choose between things like having really good shotgun accuracy, close range with precise shots, or something like being able to build really fast. Now obviously there will be outliers that can play on 10 non-ADS, aka building sensitivity, and will also be able to hit a ton of close range shotgun shots, but for the most part, if you're playing on 10 non-ADS sensitivity, you're going to be able to build really fast but be really inaccurate in close and medium range engagements. But at the same time, if you're playing on like, a 5 or 6 sensitivity, you should have really good close range aim, but at the same time, you're going to struggle to build as fast as the guys that are playing on like 9 or 10. So this can all be solved with a building sensitivity option, and I feel like it's a really simple fix that would make a lot more players feel a lot more comfortable with console Fortnite. So I know this is something that Epic has hinted at adding in the past, but it's been a while now and we need to see results, Epic, so get on it. The next item on our list is another super broken aspect of console Fortnite, and that is editing. If you have tried to make crazy editing plays on console, or you follow some YouTubers who try to make crazy editing plays on the regular, you've either heard or experienced firsthand how absolutely broken editing is on Xbox and PS4 Fortnite. The truth of the matter is, it's not just one aspect I can point to of being broken, it's literally just editing in general. Sometimes editing freezes, sometimes you hold the button down long enough to where the edit menu should pop up, and it just doesn't. Sometimes you go to edit, you hold it down all the way, it pops up, and then your edits just don't register once you make them, or when when you press B to confirm it, they don't go through. There are just literally way too many problems for me to list, and I'm sure I haven't run into all of them. This is absolutely hindering the skill gap on console Fortnite in a major way, because editing is one of the greatest and, in my opinion, coolest ways to outplay people in build battle engagements. I'm sure if you guys follow the PC scene at all, you've probably heard of guys like Nick30 and Cypher PK. Their calling card, what makes them unique when it comes to how good they are as a Fortnite player, in my opinion at least, is their edit plays. They make some of the craziest editing sequences you will ever see. I mean, seriously, like 3-4 edits in the span of 2 seconds to where they turn engagement where they're in a lot of trouble, they're probably going to die, someone has high ground over them, to an engagement where in the blink of an eye, because of some crazy edit plays, they've already killed their opponent before they even knew what hit them. That is plain and simple not possible on console because of the problems I listed. Editing on console is basically like playing the lottery at the end of the day. You know, if you try to mimic a 3 to 4 edit play that you see Nick30 make on stream when he's playing PC, well, maybe on console you'll be able to get those 3 to 4 edits off in, you know, a 3-second span flawlessly with no problems. But most of the time, either the editing menu is going to freeze, you're going to hold B and it's just in general not going to show up, or your edit isn't going to register once you end up confirming it, along with a lot of other problems that are going to prevent you from making that cool play that you saw on stream. And honestly, most of the time it's going to end up getting you killed and prevent you from getting kills in the end. So, editing on console needs a major rebalance, and honestly, I think a lot of it is simply due to bad coding in the console version of the game. I've heard a lot of people say things like, oh, change it from holding down B to just tapping B, but a problem I see with that is that let's say you're looking at a wall and you don't have the building menu open and you want to get out your pen and paper also by pressing B. How is the game going to register if you want to edit the wall you're looking at, or if you want to pull your building menu out? So my answer is keep it hold to edit, but make the hold time a lot less, to where anything more than a tap to open the building menu will open the editing menu instead. And that won't fix all the problems, but the rest of the problems, like the freezing and not registering, those are simply coding problems that Epic needs to get on. And like I said with the previous one, I think they mentioned that they're trying to fix it, but it's been months now, so what's going on? The next issue that we're going to be covering in this video today is the graphical issues that Fortnite running at only 60 FPS on console presents, as well as a potential fix Epic could implement to counter this problem. Fortnite on console is run at a much lower FPS than what you could get out of a solid gaming PC. This leads to Fortnite in general being a lot more choppy and shaky, especially if you play on a high sensitivity and try to do things like fast building or flick shots. Now, all games on Xbox and PS4 are actually capped at 60 FPS, so there's really nothing Epic could possibly do to change that. But there are some options available on PC that specifically address this problem. I'm referring to the fact that PC Fortnite basically has the ability to disable graphical settings such as motion blur, shadows, and in-game effects. Although disabling these things wouldn't push the FPS on console past 60, it would make the game seem a lot less choppy and shaky like I mentioned previously. These settings are mainly designed on PC for slow computers who want to get higher FPS, but I see no real reason why adding these options to console Fortnite wouldn't work. And if it ends up making the gameplay even a little smoother on console, it would definitely all be worth it in the end. Problem number 4 is the fact that you can't do custom button bindings on console Fortnite with a controller. Now, this is obviously a very prominent feature of PC Fortnite. You hear all the time about players, switching button bindings that they think are going to make them better, and like it's a big deal to know the pro players' button bindings on PC Fortnite. And plain and simple, this is an option that I really don't understand why it isn't on console Fortnite yet. Obviously, it's a much bigger deal on PC due to the fact that, like a keyboard has maybe 50 to 70 buttons, so there are a ton of different button binding options, when a controller, on the other hand, only has maybe 15 to 20 if you include up, down, left, and right on the D-pad. But still, this is something I would really like to see implemented on console Fortnite, because at the end of the day, extra customization options are never going to be a bad thing. Even though it just got patched, ghost peeking is just one example of why this is so desperately needed on console. If you don't know what ghost peeking is, it basically involves shooting while repeatedly crouching over and over again. This is very easy to do on the standard button layout, but almost impossible to do on the Builder Pro button layout. With full binding customization options like PC has, tactics like ghost peeking would be possible on every button layout, and therefore I really think it's something Epic should look into implementing onto console Fortnite, because I'd really like to see all the different cool button binding options people come up with. The final problem on this list is one that actually only affects players who have the regular Xbox One and regular PS4. That means if you have an Xbox One X or a PS4 Pro, you've probably never seen what I'm about to describe. A fairly common problem that I've seen a lot of console players run into is a glitch at the very beginning of games where buildings don't fully render until about 15 to 30 seconds after you land. If you've never seen it yourself, I would basically describe it as if like your entire screen turned into 240p quality compared to the regular crisp HD that Fortnite runs on. This may seem like only a funny little glitch, but based on personal testaments from my friends and clips I've seen on like YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, it's actually very likely to end up getting you killed if anyone is near you. Apparently you can't see where doors are, it's impossible to locate loot, windows don't render all the way so you can't see through those either. It's really just a giant mess. And to my knowledge, this is strictly a console problem since I've never seen it happen to anyone on PC before, and it's a glitch that's actually been in the game for a while now, so I'm not really sure what Epic's doing about it, but it's gotta be really frustrating to die because of it. You gotta feel super cheated and like you didn't deserve that death. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know with a comment down in the comment section below. What do you think the biggest issue with console Fortnite is? And if I missed anything that you would add, also be sure to leave that as a comment in the comment section down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, do whatever the heck you want. And I will catch you guys next time.